The early diesel trains were unreliable, and men brought up on steam locomotives couldn't come to grips with them. Some were even afraid of the technology.
A lot of the drivers wouldn't drive them. I remember we used to have a job in the morning 7.5 from Buxton to Manchester Central, and we had a Sulsa 4 on it. And these engines had only got one exhauster for creating vacuum, and if you dropped the brake too much, you were at a standstill before you could get the brake off. And one or two of these men would not touch these things. They were absolutely frightened to death of putting the brake on too much. By about 1962, things were in a pretty grim state. And a Buxton driver called Arthur Robinson actually wrote to the British Railways Board and said, "Is it not time that you allowed some of the older drivers to retire?" Then it started a ball rolling. And we'd no end of drivers who were off sick, all not going to come back to work. And they offered these men the princely sum of £500, and they went by the dozens. £500, I mean, I ask you. So you got the opportunity to drive. Well, you soon learn. And then those three infernal fault lights that stared at you, the red one for engine stop, the blue one for fault, and the yellow one for slipping, mithered some of these old men to death. All right, they were a nuisance, they stopped frequently, but we were at an age where we could accept this and take it without it worrying us to death. They were past thinking logically about oil, water, electrical faults. A lot of them liked them, but a lot of them were much happier sat on the second man's seat.
And it were all right for a couple of weeks, sat there, riding about. Well, after a bit, you think, hey, I'm not going to get on a steam engine again. I'm never going to work again in my life. Because you weren't working. You press a button and it'll either start up or it won't. You pull an handle and it'll go. You put another handle, it'll stop. There's nothing to do. This thing's all throbbing at the back of you. And there's not a lot you can do if it stops, because it becomes a fitter's job.
I certainly learnt the road with diesels because you spent most of your time walking it.